Today we're going to be talking to you about setting up your workstation so they are ergonomically correct to help you avoid any injuries, strains on your neck or back, wrists, etc. So step one is adjusting your chair to your desk height. So the chairs that you guys have adjustable arms, and you can also adjust your seat height. Now when you are adjusting your chair, you are going to want your ankle at 90, your knee at 90, and your hip at 90 degrees. So that is a good rule of thumb to go by as you're adjusting. So to adjust your chair, the handle is on the right side. I'm just going to turn and face the desk. So we're going to keep the desk right where it is right now to start. So as you can see, my hands are nowhere near where they should be. So the first thing I need to do is adjust my chair. Try this height first. And I'm still a little low. I'm short, so it's going to take a lot more to get my arms at 90. I'm going to pull my chair in. Everything needs to be nice and tight. Still a little low. I'm almost at max height for myself. So right now, I'm about 90. You want to make sure you keep your arms in nice and close to your body. Now, another thing when you're doing this, as you can see, is my feet now, your heels should be resting on the ground. My feet are nowhere near the ground. So that's when I'm going to take a footstool. And if you don't have a footstool, reams of paper work just as well. And I'm going to put this underneath the desk. Slide myself back in, adjust as needed. Now, my feet will be at 90 degrees. The other thing with your chairs is these armrests, they adjust. Sometimes they can be more of a hindrance than a benefit to you. So you can actually lower these down by pushing them down, and then they're completely out of the way. And you're still remaining at 90 degrees. Okay? That is completely up to you. It is more of a preference thing. I'm just gonna pull them back up. But my arms are not even hitting them. So step two is to adjust your screen. Now, when you're sitting at your desk, you want the distance from your screen to be an arm's length away. And the other tip with adjusting your screen is you want the top of your screen at your eye level. So I have to raise this up a little bit to get it to about eye level and still remain that arm distance away. Step three is to adjust your keyboard, your mouse, your phone. You want to make sure that everything is nice and tight into your body so that you can remain at that 90 degrees at your elbow. And you want to keep your wrists nice and straight. So as you can see, I have this pulled in as close as I can to me so that I can keep a nice straight wrist as I'm typing. I can keep the 90 degrees in my elbow. Same thing goes with your mouse. Now, I know that this does not work out perfectly for everybody. What you want to avoid is sometimes they have the keyboards angled. You don't want to do that. That's where you start to get into that bend in your wrist. What some other people can do is sometimes they'll use like a cushion for their wrists. When you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're using the cushion at the base of your palm and not putting it down here. So if you're finding that you do need some sort of cushion for your wrist, what you want to do is, if you don't have a cushioned mouse pad, is maybe roll a small towel up and use that instead. What you want though is to make sure that it is at the base of your palm and you're not putting it down at your wrist as you're typing. Next is a phone. What you want to make sure is that your phone is on the opposite side of your mouse if you aren't using a wireless headset. So right here, I don't have a phone at my display, but if you have your cell phone or you have a desk phone, you want to make sure it is on the opposite side of your mouse. One last thing with your chair is make sure you use the lumbar support, and also where I stated in the beginning where your knees should be at 90, your ankles at 90, your hip at 90, your back can be slightly reclined, anywhere between 100 and 110 degrees. An added item for you to think about as you're sitting at your desk is you want to make sure you take breaks from your screen, like every 15 minutes, glancing away, maybe doing some, neck stretches, opening up your back. And then another thing is every 30 minutes, just stand up, take a little break, even if you're just getting up, moving your legs, maybe doing a few stretches, rolling your ankles, anything you need to do to get some blood flowing and a little break from the screen. I know a lot of people like to stand up when they are working as well. So all the same rules apply if you're standing, same as if you were sitting. So you still want to make sure you have the 90 degree at your elbows as you're typing when you're coming in, and making sure not to lock your knees as you're standing, keeping comfortable footwear on as well. So if you're using two screens, there's two ways to do this. Now, keeping everything the same, everything tucked in close, elbows at 90 degrees, screen height is still at your eye level. You could be using two screens and you use them both equally. And in that case, you want your glare, your glance to be right in the center. If you're using two screens and one of them is your primary screen, you want that screen positioned directly in front of you with your secondary screen just off to the side, so that if you are working on your main screen, you can just glance over at the secondary screen. We hope this video helped make your move to your new desk location a little bit easier. And of course, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to the AbbVie Fitness Center.